real pleasure to introduce our good friend, Janet Murguia, the president of the National Council of the Raza. Thanks.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here, truly. I'm humbled to be among the ranks of this distinguished group of folks, and I think it really is a historic day. And we are reminded today that education is a civil rights issue. We see so many of our members of Congress who lead civil rights and other issues. You see these civil rights leaders today. We're here because we understand that education can open the door of the American dream to all our students. And we do believe that our schools cannot be considered successful until they address the needs of every student. If the purpose of high school is to prepare students for college and work, then high schools should be held accountable for meeting this expectation for all students equally. Unfortunately, there are too few mechanisms for making sure that high schools accomplish this very mission. The fact that approximately 50% of Latinos, who make up the second largest population in American schools, never make it to high school graduation has alarm bells ringing across the country, and it should. This is why the National Council La Raza has made high school reform a top priority, and we're pleased to participate in a coalition that promotes increased accountability for high school success for all students. One way that we can move the ball forward is to define graduation rates according to a common standard. Graduation should mean nothing less than a high school diploma. And we at NCLR understand that when there's lots of discussion around what does that mean, we need to be very clear about having that common standard. Second, another important way is to link No Child Left Behind accountability to how well schools are doing with regard to graduating students from various racial and ethnic subgroups, including students who are learning English. This standards-based reforms are important for all students, but they are particularly important for these ELLs, these English language learner students, whose needs have traditionally been ignored in education policy. Some of you may know that 20% of children in public schools are Latino, and 1/2 of them are ELLs. But it's also important to keep in mind that ELL students include many Asian and Native American children, and that those communities share our concerns as well. We must continue to ensure that the nation's 5 million ELLs are appropriately included in NCLB accountability, and that we have the right assessments to assess their knowledge in reading, math, and science. Without the much-needed attention to properly assess ELLs, we do a disservice to our schools, teachers, but most importantly, the students who are most in need of this attention. It is vital to the future of our nation that all children be able to achieve so that they are prepared for college and the 21st century workforce. You know, it's real easy as we start using acronyms, and you're going to start hearing a lot more of them as people come up here, starting with the title of the authorization of the legislation, NCLB, ELLs. What does all this mean? At the end of the day, I hope that we understand that we're here today because we want to have accountability and high expectations for our students. That means we want our teachers at every classroom to really believe that every student should have high expectations for themselves, and that every student should have big dreams, and that we can make those dreams come true if we do this right. You're going to hear a lot of policy and technical terms, but at the end of the day, this is about helping kids dream big dreams and make sure they can become a reality. Don't forget that. Thank you very much. Oh, gosh, I'm sorry. It's now my great pleasure to introduce someone from that beautiful state you heard about, someone who I worked with actually in another chapter in my life, who's been in Capitol Hill for at least 15 years and who does a great job of representing his great state of Virginia and the district he represents, Congressman Bobby Scott. Thank you, Congressman.